All right, now getting to the main event, Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero. Robert Guerrero started off really quick, really started doing good, man. He was nailing Garcia with a hell of a lot of shots. With the lead left hand and good, fairly good jabs, good little short hooks inside. And Danny didn't really seem to get the timing down until like probably the mid rounds, until about round 5. But that also might have been on purpose. I'm thinking that Danny might have been trying to reserve his gas tank a little bit because in the past he's gassed out, and so he was basically allowing Robert Guerrero to gas himself out. Funny enough, because Guerrero's not really a big welterweight, so I think the extra weight kind of hampers him a little bit compared to the way he used to fight back at 135 and lower. Whereas Danny, he's a big dude, for that weight class. You got to know he's rehydrating 10 to 12 pounds or whatever. So that extra bit of leeway that he doesn't have to lose making welterweight compared to making light welterweight or whatever catchweight in between pays major dividends for him, especially because he was utilizing that stamina once he got the timing down. And so once he got the timing down, he had the timing and the energy to capitalize on that timing. Along with the fact that Robert Guerrero himself was getting tired and he didn't have the stamina to necessarily get out of the way to do the little subtle movements that would otherwise save him, and that was otherwise saving him in the earlier rounds where Garcia was actually missing, and Guerrero was able to capitalize on that with the counters. So I mean, Danny did a damn good job. He especially with knowing himself, with knowing how to utilize his own style within that ring himself. But Guerrero, I mean, that starting slow shit, I'm not sure necessarily if that's going to work against the elite level competition, like, somebody like a Sammy Vasquez that I mentioned earlier, who's just, an energetic son of a bitch. Sean Porter's another energetic guy that's going to be coming at you, putting the pressure on you, just trying to basically physically manhandle you the entire time, with like a Thurman who, has that pretty harsh KO power at almost any point also. So, and also, in the last round, the 12th, Guerrero was he kind of exploded and tried to go for the KO, go for the come from behind type win, and he was doing really well. It's like really he should have started doing that a couple rounds earlier to give himself a better shot at getting either a decision or the late knockout, because he had already scuffed up Danny pretty good in the early rounds. So if he would have been able to put that same pressure that he did in the last round on in the 10th and the 11th, that would have made things way closer, would have made things way more tense, and, possibly would have buckled Danny a little bit. But Garcia managed to live to fight another day. He's probably looked better in this fight than he has since any fight since Matisse. Of course, Matisse is still his pretty much crowning achievement thus far. They're saying that he's supposed to be fighting against Amir Khan next. Not sure if that's necessarily going to come off, but I favor Garcia to beat Khan again. I'm not like a lot of these other guys that are talking about like, oh, Amir Khan was whooping Danny Garcia's ass and he just got caught. To me, Danny Garcia was timing Amir Khan as early as that second round. So even though I'd say Amir Khan probably does better and he lasts longer in the second fight, because I think he's sharpened his skills a little bit defensively, and he knows how to kind of step in, step out, clinch when he needs to, and all that stuff. I think Danny's eventually going to time him the same way. He'll eventually probably throw some of those straight shots down the middle, and then that'll lead to Khan not being as willing to jump in. He'll stand right at mid-range, exactly where Garcia wants him to throw those hooking shots, and just wind up into them shits and launch one of those home run type knockouts. And I would favor him over Andre Berto. Should Berto manage to beat Lamont Peterson, but I got to think Peterson's probably favored in that fight just by virtue of how they match up in the ring. A Garcia Peterson rematch actually might not be the worst thing on the world, depending on how Peterson looks against Berto, and I think Peterson beats Berto. But I mean, either way, there's plenty of good fights out there. The other one that would probably be really a better fight would be Garcia versus the winner of Thurman versus Porter, since that's official now. And I definitely hope that comes off. Let the other guys kind of fight each other and work their way up into that style of contention. Let like the Peterson-Berto winner fight Khan, and or like get Sammy Vasquez in there. Maybe Sammy Vasquez versus Khan. That's an all-action fight there, right there, man. That's hundreds of punches around. So I'd like to see those. And I mean, Danny looked impressive. He looked better than he has in a little while. I'm not sure if I favor him over the absolute best of the best there. I'm not sure if he even beats Peterson in a rematch, but I definitely give him more hope for a rematch. I'll put it that way, because he definitely looked rejuvenated at welterweight compared to the way he looked before. So that's it for that one. I'll catch you on the next.